What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Something to Say podcast. It's your boy Jeff with my boy Ed.
What up?
And as you can tell, we are missing one of our road dogs this week, Rudy. He is actually in Las Vegas doing his thing.
Get turned.
Yes, sir. So he will not be making his appearance in this episode, but we will be having him back for our next episode coming at you next week. So as for now, though, we've been talking heavy into NBA playoffs.
Let's go. It's a good playoffs. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
So.
it's been like I can't remember the last time this many good matchups in the second round, between the East and the West combined.
Yeah. And only thing I probably could think of is the bubble was crazy.
Yeah.
And I think due to the fact that it was no fans and people could just focus, because you had people like TJ Warren was scoring 30, averaging 30 something. He only averaged 15 now. So I feel like it definitely make a. So yeah, I think the bubble was like that, especially that Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell matchup.
Oh my goodness,
50 apiece in the same game. That was crazy.
You bring up. I actually really like you bringing up the bubble because the people forget that some of these players the fans really do mess with their mentality, and the way they play every night.
Yeah,
because a lot of them have a good game face, but you never know how they feeling internally. Especially when you go into places where they screaming things that are not okay, pushing into being Utah and stuff, where they're known for being a little racist
about
over
to
there.
Bring that up. I heard they're by far the worst. I think Russell Westbrook was about to snap on somebody.
Yeah,
in Utah.
Oh, and you can only imagine what they were saying to Mans. So it does make a huge difference. And in the bubble, there's no home court. There's no way.
Yeah, it's middle ground. It's just
yeah, because just as much as the fans can take away the energy, they can bring the energy and and really hype up a team and keep them going. And a lot of these arenas get loud and it's hard to hear each other. The bubble was such a unique experience because you one of the biggest variables of any pro sports is the fans. They can be the biggest X factor when it comes to the matchups and everything like that, but then what's outside of the matchups is the fans. And they can really change the vibe, they can change the energy, and they can really help or hurt. They can help and hurt at the same time.
Definitely, because it also not everybody could handle that pressure.
Yeah,
fourth quarter, the seats and the floor is shaking. You can't even hear somebody to call a timeout.
Yeah, dude,
that's different than just silence.
yes. People smacking things in front of you, making loud noises,
calling your name.
Yes, that's so true. It makes a huge difference, and I think that part is overlooked all the time. Is the atmosphere. We're so used to it as fans, watching the game, being of course it's loud, of course this and that, but to be there and be in that and to be competing at the highest level, it's gonna make a difference.
Definitely.
This bring. I'm glad we're talking about this, because just to segue real quick, I know we're gonna come back to the playoffs, but there's shout out to the good guys over. They have a streaming channel for golf. And they just teamed up with Bob Does Sports, which is another shout out to Bob and his crew. You guys are killing the game. But they made a tournament where they brought fans into the tournament, and all of these guys can golf. They are really really good golfers. They have made incredible content, and they have done some incredible things. But one of the guys just smacked a fan, shanked the ball and hit a fan,
my God.
and a bad one to a bad shank, straight into the crowd. And I was that's fan pressure. These are guys that never have played in front of fans before, and now they've got fans lining the fairway.
It's
and
different.
I'm like, the knees are knocking and the nerves are going. And I was like, and this was a tee shot this dude hits in his sleep, but I could tell you the nerves were this is the first time I think they've ever really done this tournament style on their channel. And actually, I don't even know if they knew how many people were going to come out. Yeah. And that is a prime example right there. You could be at the free throw line, or you could be standing over a golf shot, or you could be on the football field getting ready to catch a touchdown, and it's like the nerves and the pressure like that
bro.
really can amp up.
That shows like who's good and who's great.
Yes, who can always like push over that, who can like and some people like live for that, like they need that, like they need that, like someone like a LeBron or a Michael or a Tom Brady, like these people live for that. Like I think they would be even not as good if they didn't have the pressure.
Yeah,
the
like
pressure
somebody
helps.
like, hey, you suck, you trash. It's like they take that as fuel. That's like a different mentality.
And in our first episode, that's exactly what we talked about with Michael, like, and Kobe, like that killer mentality. That's like they want people to talk shit to them. Like we talked about Dylan Brooks, like, and how LeBron, he keyed up LeBron. He did the biggest mistake you could have done by keying up.
Fired up the monster, bro.
Like he wanted that. LeBron was smiling when he saw that, because all that is fuel for the fire right there. Like, keep that thing churning, keep that thing hot.
He really probably messed up the coach's game plan, because like I was like, LeBron's like, oh, give me the ball now, because he think it's so, and he went at him and it's like failed.
Big time.
Like, he can only go left, and
he ain't give you 40.
And that was your moment right there to back up your talk. And failed, and now you don't have a job.
Yeah, and yep. In fact, you and me off camera were just talking the other day. We were having lunch, and we were talking about how Dylan Brooks turned down a bag with the Grizzlies before the season started. Yeah. And now the Grizzlies don't want anything to do with him. And in fact, on the TNT show with Shaq and the boys, they were all guessing where Dylan Brooks was going. And where do you think they were guessing? They were guessing overseas. They were saying like the Shanghai Tigers and stuff. Like, they don't even think this man's gonna get a job in the NBA.
Yeah, I think it's over. Because honestly, like, that was just such a terrible call on his part to fire up LeBron. Now I feel like coaches is looking at that like, oh no, he might cost me some, like, a possible like playoff spot or a finals appearance. Finals appearance, just because he don't know when to pick and choose his words.
Yes, dude.
It's like, bro, that series probably could have went.
It really could have,
if he didn't make him mad like that.
I really do think that series could have gone the Grizzlies' way if that didn't happen. Like, yeah. And I'm not saying that I'm not disregarding what the Lakers have done, because they are balling. And honestly, like, that's a perfect segue into the freaking Lakers Golden State series.
Jeff, what's going on? Your prediction, man. Come on.
It's in bad shape. My prediction is in bad shape right now, y'all. I know you're gonna be coming at me, because I did pick the Warriors to go to the finals in the West, and it is in deep trouble right now, because I honestly can't tell you, Ed, that I see the Warriors. I think this series might be over. I think that the Lakers are up 3-1, and they are dominating this series for the most part. Like, they really are. And even though they got blown out in game 3?
Yeah.
They got blown out in game 3, but like, overall, the matchups have been tough on the Warriors. And what the Lakers are doing is they're putting so much pressure on Steph and Clay.
Yeah.
And they're saying, make Gary Payton, make Draymond Green, make Kevon Looney beat us. And it's like, that ain't gonna happen.
That's basically what they saying. They just gonna live or die by Gary Payton the second putting up 40.
Yeah.
They like, he's gonna have to put up 40 because we're about to lock in on these guys. Show us you're a great team, because right now it's looking like you're.
I couldn't agree more, because now Jordan Poole is kind of like, I see Jordan. Last time I saw Jordan Poole was on a milk bottle saying he's missing. Like, Jordan Poole has fallen apart in this series, and I was listening to the media last night after I was watching the Denver Nuggets game, and they were talking about how Jordan Poole's kind of like doesn't know what's going on with his shot, and he's kind of like out of his game, and he's kind of like he's a little like he's not like focused, because he's trying to find himself. And this is the worst time ever for that to happen. Because right now, the Lakers are firing on all cylinders. I'm like, everyone can get a bucket with them. D'Lo can get a bucket. Reeves can get a bucket. LeBron can get a bucket. AD can obviously get a bucket. And then, like, one thing I was talking about, Ed, that I had to talk about it with you guys is this last week of basketball has been all about the others. The others.
X factors.
Yes, the role players who have come in and made huge differences in these pivotal games in these series. Like, first, we got to talk about, yes, the Nuggets won last night and took a 3-2 lead, but this series would be over if it wasn't for Landry Shamet. Because Shamet the other night took over in the fourth quarter. And this dude could not miss. Like,
every time I was eating, every time I looked up, he was hitting the shot. I'm texting them. I'm like, yo, Shamet is going crazy right now.
And he was. He made 3 out of 4 possessions in the fourth quarter, the most important quarter of the game, and a close game, too. He made three threes out of 4 possessions, and then he went to the free throw line also. So this dude is really taking pressure off of Booker and KD, which is desperately needed with CP3 being injured.
Facts.
And they don't even know if he's going to be back for Game 6.
I hope so, man.
I know we can't see it go out it sucks to I want to see the full Nuggets team against the full Suns team, and it feels right now that it's obviously lopsided because CP3 is dealing with his groin and he's having injury issues, and I feel like CP3 always has the worst luck in the playoffs getting these injuries.
You can just look it up, man, and scroll. It's never been good for him. And I feel like the worst ones was the Rockets one.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that was their year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
A healthy CP3, I felt like that was the injured, man.
Yeah. He has a bad history in the playoffs of getting injured.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And so you look now, you go right over to the other side of the ball. So the Suns had tied the series up 2-2, and last night Bruce Brown, I gotta give my flowers to Bruce Brown. This man had 27 points in 29 minutes.
Bruce Brown, just in case you didn't catch that.
Yeah, we want to talk about, Ed said this right before we came on, that's efficiency right there. I don't think you can be more efficient. Bro. And he's coming off the bench for the Nuggets. So you're already got... And Michael Porter dropped a 20-burger last night, too.
They stepped up big,
They did. I think for the Nuggets, that was the most well-rounded game they've had in the playoffs so far. Yeah. Because you had double digits from Murray, you had double digits from Jokic, you had double digits from Bruce Brown, and Michael Porter, and then Aaron Gordon had himself a nice game too. That's why they blew out the Suns last night. It wasn't even close. They were up by 24 points in the fourth quarter.
It got bad.
It got bad.
Anytime your bench can give you double-digit numbers and points, that's a major plus. Especially when you already got a nice starting five, but somebody could come off the bench 30.
That's hard to deal with. That's almost impossible to deal with.
That's tough. That's scary. Because if the Nuggets could look like that, from here on out, just consistently. I mean, I know everybody had bad games, but that's gonna be scary.
They're gonna be
tough mess around and go to the finals, bro.
They really might. Honestly, I think right now. And don't get me wrong, I ain't flopping, flip flopping. I'm still riding with the Warriors. I don't know if they're gonna make it out of the series, but I would love to see the Nuggets and the Lakers in the West Conference Finals. Honestly, nice. I think that might be the 2 best teams left in the West right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's the most. We talked about this in the last episode. When it comes to matchups, they're very, very well matched up on the court, size wise
and depth.
And depth, yes, yes. And I feel like that will be a really, really good series because continuing with the theme of the others, Lonnie Walker. I've been telling this man all day.
Lonnie Walker, baby. And I know the Laker fans are going crazy because they was we have to get Lonnie Walker. You can search on Twitter. It is Lonnie Walker, Lonnie, we got to get him. And then when you got him, bro, Laker Nation was going crazy. And then, why are they going crazy? Stuff like this.
Yes.
Games like that, he went stupid, man.
He went stupid. He had all 15 of his points were in the fourth quarter. And he scored on, correct me if I'm wrong here, but he scored on 5 possessions in a row. They went to him. 5 in a row. This man put buckets in. And there was even a shot of Steph that. I was just seeing this on the Instagram where he put in a bucket and Steph kind of looked at him damn, this dude is going stupid. And
yeah, bro.
He saved that game for the Lakers. And in fact, LeBron, right after the game in the press conference, or not even the press conference, right when he's being interviewed on the floor, he said, we don't win this game without Lonnie Walker. We don't. And they don't, because that game was close to the very end once again.
That was a crazy game.
He pushed them way over. The others, y'all. The others. Bruce Brown, Lonnie Walker, Landry Shamet. Like, you need that role player.
And this just goes to show, like, that, when you think of NBA, you mainly think of the, like, stars, maybe the six man. But it's like, bro, this just goes to show people are in the NBA for a reason, bro. And this just goes to show, like, on that, bro, this is the NBA playoffs. Other than the finals, this is the second highest level of, like, comp and, like, pressure. And just put up 15 in the fourth. That's not luck, bro. These guys are professionals. Like, they don't always go off, but it's like, bro, it's like moments like this where it's like, oh, like, the NBA is, like, no joke. Like, bro could go to, like, LA Fitness and destroy everybody.
Oh, my gosh, everybody.
Easy. So, that just goes to show right there. 15 in the fourth in the NBA playoffs. Come on, man.
Yeah. And in such a pressure, we talk about pressure. If the Lakers lose that game, we have a 2-2 series, and the Warriors take back home court from the Lakers. That would have been such a huge momentum switch. And coming from me, who was obviously rooting hard for the Warriors in that last game, I was like, nobody can stop this man. Like, Lonnie Walker is going stupid. And I was like, nobody can do anything. Like, he was on fire in that fourth quarter. Yeah. And honestly, like, I see that propelling him to, like, getting back into the rotation a little bit more.
And his confidence is about to go through the roof. And Jeff, your prediction is down, man.
Down.
I know you just watching it like, oh, man, I got to come back on the podcast.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I don't think you could have said that better. I was going, dang, like, I don't know how badly I wanted to come back on this podcast and be like, it's 2-2, your boy told you so, and now I'm looking foolish. I'm looking real foolish, because don't forget, like, the last team to come back from 3-1 was the Cavaliers with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and that would be so dope if somehow the Warriors do it. Bro, and it's like, bro, it got to be a documentary about this rivalry. If that happens, bro, like, that would be like the first probably ever in sports, like, in a rivalry, and it's like both rivals came back from a 3-1.
Oh,
that would be.
Key up the 30 for 30, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be watching, trust me, because that would be a good documentary. Because, Ed and I were going over the finals last Saturday. We're going over all of the finals matchups in the past, 10 to 15 years. And honestly, like, Steph Curry and LeBron have met a lot.
Bro.
They have a good, like, rivalry, actually. Like, and this series, like, proves, too, that, no matter what teammates or roster these two guys have, they find themselves in the conversation and they find their way back to each other, because that's what happens. The cream of the crop will always rise.
Yeah.
And so it's like the Warrior, obviously Steph's been on the Warriors and like he's had some changes on the roster. They've kept a solid core. But then LeBron, on the other hand, has left the Cavaliers, gone to the Lakers. Yeah. He's been with more teammates than you can imagine in his few years with the Lakers.
So they many have Hall of Famers, bro.
Yes.
I looked at, it's like a list that show all the people he played with, bro. It's
so many Hall of Famers.
Oh my god!
And so even with all of these changes and these rotation of players and free agents that come in and leave and so on and so forth, contracts ending, they find their way back to meeting in these important games, because they are two of the greatest to ever play the game. And it's it needs to be appreciated, because the time that Steph and LeBron are gonna be too much longer. They are getting up there, and it's you gotta appreciate while you have it, because even if you love them or you hate them, it's good basketball, and it's great to be an NBA fan right now.
Exactly,
and it's been great to be an NBA fan in the last 20 years, because we've been spoiled with great players, and some ones that'll go down in the top. We're talking players right now that you could argue in the top 10, top 15, KD, freaking LeBron,
Steph,
Curry, even Clay.
He's the greatest. Steph is the greatest shooter of all time.
And we're watching him right now.
Yeah.
We can say we're watching the greatest shooter of all time right now. And, you can't say that in the annals of time. That like you might have just missed like we definitely missed like watching Magic and Bird and like Jordan in their prime, like when we weren't even born yet. And like, can you imagine like how lucky those people were like to have watched them in their prime?
Like going to the game, just watching Jordan literally just take off, rock the cradle like in person. Dude. I know that had to be
go
crazy.
Right and then turn it back and go left. Like it's like. These are moments that I always try to check myself and be like, appreciate it because, like, and then, shouting out to like the legend himself, Kobe Bryant, you guys will find out, like, and I'll never shy away from it. I grew up a Laker hater. I'm still a Laker hater. I'll always be a Laker hater. I hated watching Kobe win all of the rings that he won and everything. But when it was all said and done, the appreciation I had for being a hater and being like, man, like, what a gamer, what a competitor. I loved rooting against you all these years. Like, I'm glad I got to do that, like I'm glad I got to root against Kobe and watch him play. And when he was leaving, a part of me missed him, even though I wanted him to lose everything. Right. I wanted him to lose everything. But I still was like, I'm gonna miss this guy because what a great competitor, what a great basketball player, what a pleasure to have rooted against him all those years. Like, because if you like, no one, like, if you want to be the best, you want to beat the best. You really do.
Yeah, like, you don't want no easy cakewalk. You wanna go against a demon, bro. Yes. You wanna go against top tier talent. And speaking of Kobe, that's my favorite player. So, and he's no longer here. So I was just fortunate enough. I even got to see him in person. I actually got to go against him in person. So it's like stuff like that, memories that'll live on forever. You just gotta cherish it.
Yep.
Like life. I promise. And father time goes nowhere.
Undefeated.
Got it. Like, I don't really like LeBron. Yeah. You know how I feel about LeBron, but it's like, I gotta get a man's flowers, bro. Like, he's one of them greats. He's one of them guys. Like, if somebody put him in top 5, I can't even argue.
No doubt. No doubt.
Look at what he's done. So it's just like, as much as I hate about him, like, I even get bittersweet because he's on the Lakers, so sometimes I don't really know how to feel.
Yeah.
But it's like, you gotta give him his props, man. He's a hooper. Dog, man.
Yes, and that's I couldn't agree more with you because I've been a LeBron hater also my entire NBA fandom. Like right there with Kobe, I've wanted him to lose every time he's laced up, every freaking finals he's been in. And I still appreciate like getting to like watch him. He is gonna be one of the greatest of all time. You can argue, there's always gonna be the people that are arguing for, Kobe. I mean, well, you could put Kobe in there, but the Michael and LeBron debate will go on forever. Like, and you will have people will have great examples to bring up when they're trying to argue for either one of them to be. And that is just facts, Like, but I even now, I really, really want them to lose this series. And if they go against the Nuggets, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna be the biggest Nuggets fan during that series.
You gonna get a Nuggets jersey? Oh my
I might have to get a Jokic jersey on my back. Like, but don't get twisted. Orlando Magic till the day I die. But in the playoffs, I so desperately want to see the Nuggets make it out of the West because speaking of Kobe kept my boys Chauncey and Carmelo and freaking AI and all them boys, like they kept them out of getting that far for years.
That Jordan effect.
Yes. Like I want to see the Nuggets persevere through, and I really like that combo between Murray and Jokic. Like, but to be honest with you, I will be okay being wrong about the Warriors if I get to see that matchup because, like we talked about, I just think that's going to be just an amazing series between the two.
That'd be nice.
And I need to see Jokic and AD going back at it.
Jokic and AD would be crazy. They're like the top big men in the league, and they both got like very deep bags, bro. They got so many moves, and they both defend too, and they both aggressive. Yeah, it's gonna be a dogfight. It will be a straight up dogfight.
Like when you're talking from like the top of the 3-point line all the way to under the basket, that is both AD and Jokic's range. Like you cannot leave them at the top and then sink back into defense and help protect the rim because they're gonna pop a three and they're gonna drill it in your face. Like, and then same thing, they're gonna come down low and they're gonna give you all these moves down low.
So many moves, hook, fade, just going up and dunking. Like, they both will have to like respect each other's game because, like you said, like no help D, bro. It's like they're gonna have to guard each other.
Yes, they're gonna have to guard each other.
Which makes it interesting because on the perimeter is like. Not that paint. It would be interesting to see how's the paint play.
Oh,
like,
dude,
is it gonna be more attacking like when they out on the wing, or is people still gonna respect it? Like, because that's still a presence. Those some big dudes,
no doubt,
who could cover a lot of ground. So
yes,
he could like be guard Jokic at 3 and like 2 steps be at the rim.
No, definitely,
which is crazy. So that would be pretty interesting. Like,
dude, absolutely. And then you if you look at, so right now the Warriors are primarily relying on Wiggins to be to be LeBron's like primary defender. But the Nuggets, they can rotate Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. and that gives you more size to throw at LeBron. Yeah. And you're never gonna stop LeBron. Like, you're never gonna stop him. But you can definitely make him uncomfortable, and you can definitely keep throwing bodies at him. And you know, the Nuggets, like, the more I watch them, the more I realize how big they are. And it was the same way I felt when the first game of the Warriors-Lakers series was how big the Lakers are. They're huge. Everybody is big. Reeves is big. AD is big. LeBron is huge. Like, and then like you have Vanderbilt and Hachimura. Like, all these guys aren't small. Like they are able to rotate.
About him.
Yeah, he's huge, dude. They're massive. They make the Warriors look so small out on the court. And so, but the Denver Nuggets and the Lakers are both really, really long, big teams. Like, and they both can stretch the floor really well. You know, like I mentioned earlier with the others, is Michael Porter had a great night last night. He got the tone set for the Nuggets. I know he's a starter, but he's not their primary scorer.
Right.
And so him hitting threes makes it so hard to guard the pick and roll between Murray and Jokic. And then when you can stretch the floor with Porter, it makes it so difficult. And then, like we said, when you have Bruce Brown hitting shots, like, what are you to do? If you're the Suns, what are you to do to stop that?
You got to go back to the drawing board, because now it's like you got more threats now.
Yes.
Probably like, all right, Jokic and Jamal Murray, pick and roll, main focus on that. It's like, oh, snap, like, coach, 30. So now what? So it's like, you know, now, so that's going to be interesting, because now it's going to be like, you know, even though that man dropped 30, so it's like, now are you going to still, like, disrespect him, not pay him as much attention? Like, are you going to risk it? Like, hey, Michael Porter and Bruce Brown going to have to give us 30. It's like, you know, this shows, like, you know, if they score, the Nuggets still could win.
Oh, definitely.
So it's like, do you want to really take that risk?
Yeah. It's a lot to deal with, and especially with, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not a big like Suns fan. I'm not a big Suns guy. I'm not a big Booker guy. Like, I think he talks a little too much. Like, they really are, like, we mentioned Shamet, but last night Shamet kind of disappeared. So the problem is the consistency for the Suns is, like, they're relying way too heavy on KD and Booker. It's way too easy to defend them right now, because the Nuggets are saying, just like you were mentioning, okay, Shamet beat us. And he did in the game before, and they pulled out a win. But they're like, anybody else on that team beat us. And Campaign is struggling from beyond the arc. He's struggling to score, honestly. And so all the others of the Suns right now they got to look themselves in the mirror. They got to show up big for Game 6.
DeAndre Ayton, he low-key kind of gets on my... He play like... He don't give it his...
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm not getting... He don't give 120%. I feel like he just be out there. So, like, bro, when have you heard his name this series?
Oh, very, very little. Very little.
Like, you don't even hear him. And he's one of the biggest dudes on the court. And it's like, bro, I don't know what you gotta do, like have somebody start smacking you before the game or something, but bro, you gotta get mad. You gotta be a presence out there.
Yes.
Because your team needs you. Because they about to focus on Katie and Booker. And like you said, they gonna force everybody else to beat them. It's like, bro, you have to be that guy, step up like, hey, like I'm somebody too. Like, y'all gonna have to worry about me. And I just feel like he don't got that kind of energy, bro. He just like, ever, bro. Like,
couldn't agree more with you, dude. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, I feel like DeAndre Ayton could be the difference right now for the Suns. But you don't get, like, that. Where's the dog in him? Where's the dog in him right now? Like, and you're so right. Like, disappearing act in this series especially, like, I don't even think he has done much of anything, like, to help them. Like, and he needs to, like, he is also down there protecting the rim from Jokic. So, like, he has a big responsibility. Had his way in this series. Let me tell you, this man has, at times, put the Nuggets on his back and carried them through this series. Like, and they are one game away from getting to the Western Conference Finals. Both the Nuggets and the Lakers are on the cusp of meeting in the West. They have this series advantage right now, and
it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be very interesting. Like, and I'm all for it, you know. Yeah. And you best believe your boy's gonna be watching tonight, so I can come back to y'all and we can get back at this next week too.
Definitely.
But we're gonna segue from the NBA playoffs for a moment because Ed and I want to introduce some movie reviews, and we want to give you guys some ratings here and let you know what we thought about movies that have just hit the theater, movies that are out right now, movies that are popular, you know, and we wanted to just give you guys our opinion on right now. It'd be Super Mario because my boy just saw it this past weekend.
Yes, sir.
I saw it a couple weekends ago, and you best believe that it is fresh in my mind because honestly, that movie was pretty phenomenal, to be honest with you. Like, I really enjoyed it. Honestly, from start to finish, I really enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know about you, but it easily rose over my expectations.
Definitely, because I was just like, they just gonna be in the little cars or something, and he might hop on some turtles. But it was like the storyline, was nice. Like, just the beginning on them being plumbers and no respect in the city, and the tunnel into another dimension. That was just so cool. Like, that was well written.
I couldn't have asked for a better like storyline, like you're saying, because personally I thought that we were gonna jump right into and maybe slight spoiler alert for you guys, but but we I thought they were gonna jump right into Super Mario World right away, and that was what it was gonna be. And Mario was already the hero, and then Bowser shows up, and we get to see all that. But they tell a very like human story with Mario and Luigi, where you're like sucked in right away to like being like, oh, this is like two real people. Like, and they're just trying to like create a business from the ground up, and their family and their friends and they're like people that are in the city are looking at saying, you guys are trash, like you can't do this, like, and you're stupid for doing this and stuff. And they told a very like grounded story right off the get, and that's like kind of like brought me right into it. Like, okay, this is like really cool. Like, this is like something I did not expect.
And then I like how it was pressure on Mario. Yeah, he's the oldest, and it's like they was like, "Hey man, you bringing your brother down, with this business stuff. You messing up his future." It's like, my man Mario go to the room like, "Oh man, and this was I thought this was so dope. Mario playing the game, I thought that was so clever. So, and it was just like dope how they had each other back. Luigi, like, hey man, you're not bringing me down. Like, we in this together. We gonna thug it out. So I thought it was cool, man.
Oh, by far. The relationship between the brothers is what kept me like really enthralled in like the grand. Obviously, all like there's so many Easter eggs and so many great things that they throw in. Like, but that story being throughout the movie really like was like their relationship was solid. Like, and like really cool like brotherly love between the two of them. And like and like straight up from what you were just saying, like that was his dad being like, I just don't like that you're bringing your brother down. I was like, damn, that hit so hard.
And that's like real life stuff. It's somebody in the world going through that right now.
Yeah.
So it's like that's big bro, and it's like, you know, got a lot of pressure, and people like, hey, you know, you're bad influence.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And when you're not trying to be, when you're like trying your best, thinking that you are actually looking out for your brother and like being doing good things for your brother, and then someone comes and tells you that no, you're actually like not being a good influence at all. Like that's crushing, you know. Like when you think in your heart that you're doing the best thing for each other, like for you and him, and so like that, and then the like. Honestly, I don't even know how they fit all that they did in this one movie. Like, you brought up, like, the car building scene. Phenomenal, dude.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Phenomenal.
It was, like, I don't know. I was talking to Jeff about it earlier. I don't know if y'all caught the goose egg, but if you really pay attention, like, in the Donkey Kong, like, the auto body scene, they little shop, on one of the workers' sleeves, it was a 64 on it. And I thought that was cool. I wonder if anybody else caught that. I'm like, yo, that's cool. I felt like a little kid again watching it, bro.
I missed that completely. In fact, he told me today when we were working together, and I was like, I totally missed that. Like, and that is such a cool, like, Easter egg right there. Like,
that was pretty
so dope. Like, also, I don't know if you caught this, but when Peach is running the course. And by the way, if anybody complains about spoilers, this movie been out already. Okay, you can't be mad if we're ruining anything for you, because at this point you've had time to go see it. And so too bad, so sad is what I gotta say about that. But when she's doing the course like that she wants him to do to prove, so when she completes it, she comes floating down with her dress. The dress pops out like an umbrella. Yeah. And that's how you float in Smash Bros. Yeah. Like, that never happened in the original Mario games. She never did that. Right. That was straight from Smash Bros. And I remember, like, looking up at the screen and being like, that's from Smash Bros. Like, that's so sick.
Yeah, that was cool, man. That was so many nice little goose eggs. And then, how did you... It was also dope, like, how they had the video game camera view. Remember they was racing through the city?
Oh, and that was
Mario
so cool.
was like, he'd like hop over the gate, open the door for Luigi.
So cool.
I'm like, bro, that's like Game Boy. Like, right now, like, that was pretty cool.
When they were doing the side scroller, like, and the way they shot that whole thing.
Yeah,
and like,
that was genius.
And even to like keep up with, like, if you've played the Mario games over time, like, Luigi's always been the more scared, the more clumsy, the more, you know, a little more goofy. Yeah. Like, and they kept that so well with, like, how Mario's just jamming through the city and doing all these cool moves and jumping through the scaffolding and stuff. And Luigi's barely making it, and, like, things are happening to him along the way.
Stepping in the cement.
Yes. But how cool that was the whole time. Like, that was such a cool way to start the movie. And then going off of that too, when they were racing on Rainbow Road.
Oh my! Like, when I seen that, bro, I was just so turned. I'm like, bro, this is so crazy, bro. I played that map so many times as a kid.
Dude, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, there's a scene where Mario, to get away from being hit, he jumps off the track to another spot, and you could do that in the game. It's risky, but if you do that, you can get ahead and possibly like jump spots in the race. Yeah. And they even included that too. That was because I was like, that was sick, because it's hella risky to do that in the game. Yeah. But like, it's well worth it if you can jump from like 8th place to like 3rd place, which is definitely possible. And so that was really cool too. And from the newer Mario Kart games, like, Peach is on a motorbike, so they gave her motorbike, and then they gave Mario his like quintessential, like, he's had a very similar car throughout all the way through, with the
M on the front.
Yes, and that red and blue color, like, obviously, like just such cool, like, little aesthetics.
How about your boy Toad pulling up in the big truck, bro? That part was so dope, bro.
And the massive that was so cool. So cool.
That was dope.
And shout out to Keegan-Michael Key too, playing Toad, like, which was
hey, he
awesome.
Did his thing, like, bro. He did his thing. Oh, and then they had a boy Diddy Kong when he was still cheering.
That was cool.
He was like,
too.
That means you, Diddy Kong. He was like, oh, sorry.
See, like little moments, so many good little moments like that, dude. Like so many, like, and even honestly, one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie. So if we go back to the GameCube on Super Mario Double Dash, that's still one of the best Mario
when you
Kart
switch
games.
the seats,
Yes. And so when they first get to Donkey Kong's country, that one gorilla drives them.
Oh yeah.
And they're like going through the that looks so familiar to the DK Mountain in Double Dash.
Yes.
And he even throws the banana back and the other car goes skidding out. Like I was geeking hard during that whole scene. I was like, dude, this is like Double Dash all the way. Like the track they were driving on and the background and everything. I was like, dude, this is spot on. Just
even a little sound when Mario like jumped on the turtle and they went in and did a little I was like, oh, they just did it so well. They was just on point.
They really were, and honestly, like one of my, even though he's the villain, like I loved Bowser. Like Jack Black as Bowser, absolutely Peaches. Like if you haven't, get that on your freaking Spotify, get that on your iCloud, get that on your music like right now, because that song is a banger.
He was going crazy, bro. So yeah, that was cool. Oh, I even like the creative aspect, like when Mario was experiencing the course for the first time, and how they introduced the mushroom. The box of powers, and how he didn't like. He was like, oh, I don't like mushrooms, and she had to force it. So it's like, I thought that was pretty dope because they had the aspect he don't like mushrooms, but he need the mushrooms to power up, so he had to like stuff it down like so many times trying to complete. That was genius, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Instead of like you said, like he's already in there and he just eats it like it's nothing.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Like I really, really thought, like, very, very glad I went in this movie like kind of like not knowing, because I really did think all this was just gonna be normal already. Because it's Super Mario, so I'm like, oh, this is all gonna be like normal to this. Mm-hmm. But the way they had him show up there fresh, where he didn't know about any of this stuff. Yeah. And then he got to realize what this stuff does from, like when he turns into the freaking cat when he's fighting Donkey Kong too.
Hey, like, he was going crazy in that castle. He was messing him up, bro.
Honestly, that fight scene was phenomenal too.
Yeah, that was nice.
Like being a kid's movie too. Oh, dude. Like I was like, oh, like this will be cool. Like, like it's a kid's movie. It's not gonna go too far. Like, dude, they brawl. Like, I mean, they get after it, dude. Yeah. Even to the point where like Donkey Kong is about to fall into the depths of the water, and he grabs him by his tie and pulls him back. Like that was hard.
He's like, I think you're done.
Dude, honestly, man. All right, Ed, I need because one thing I like to do with my buddies and I want to bring to our podcast is like when we talk, because this ain't gonna be the first movie that we talk about. We're gonna be talking about more movies down the line, but I need your number out of 10. Give me from 1 to 10. What do you give Super Mario Brothers? What is this? What is the number that you give this movie?
Out of 10, it's just like, just due to the fact, just being the gamer, playing Mario Brothers all the time from Game Boy to Nintendo to fucking GameCube. It's just like, bro, honestly, it was just so dope. I'm gonna have to give it 9.8, bro.
Ooh,
it was just and did you catch when Luigi went to the Dark World, the Luigi Mansion vibes? That was so clever how they put that in there. And that's why it's just little stuff like that, 9 point.
Honestly, I love that you brought that up. I'm so glad that you did, because I didn't want us to forget about that. That was one of my favorite, when he pulls out the flashlight, bro. I was like, that is so Luigi's Mansion. Like throwback to the GameCube, throwback to the, like right now on the Switch, I have Luigi's Mansion. It is a phenomenal game. Like, and that was such a good nod towards Luigi's Mansion. Like, honestly, so
I wonder how many people caught that, bro, because I was like, bro, this is like you said, the flashlight, it already sparked in my brain. Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, 100%. And such a cool thing to do, because obviously, like when you watch the movie, they like Mario is the main character, but they give Luigi his time, and they give him his moments, and and especially at the end of the big spoiler alert. So if you might want to skip ahead if you really don't want to like ruin the movie, but at the end when he blocks the fire from Bowser and he's like, together we can do anything. I'm like, bro, that would hit me in my feels, bro.
That was so tough.
That was so tough because he was kind of scared the whole time too, like very scared as he should be.
Yeah.
But then like he shows up in that moment like and is willing to sacrifice his life like to save his brother.
Yeah.
And then like and is holding back Bowser's flames by himself like right before they get that golden star,
bro,
which was also an incredible moment. Like
that was probably definitely one of my favorites, bro. Cause they just like powered up and you saw the glow on them, bro. And they just that slow motion scene, that was so cool, bro. Cool. How they just went through all of the little minions and stuff. They was like boom, and it just went slow.
And they pieced up Bowser too. They pieced him up.
Destroyed him, bro.
Dude. Such good.
The uppercut, bro.
Yeah, dude,
that was so cool.
So they honestly like I'm totally with Ed on this one. Like I went with some friends of mine, and we all we always do this night. We do out of 10. That's kind of our thing. And I was like right away. I gave that a solid 9 out of 10. This is more me being funny because Bowser is one of my favorite characters, so my reasoning for not giving it higher than 9 out of 10 was because I was like, the hero lost the movie and the villains won.
Yeah.
And that's only because I was riding so hard with Bowser.
I feel like.
And that was mostly just like me messing around, but I was like, man, this is like such a departure where the hero loses the movie. Like Bowser, I was saying like it's a fairy tale. Like he wants to be this woman and own the universe. Like what can you write a better story? Like, but obviously other than joking around, this is an easy 9 out of 10. I highly recommend you go see this in theaters. You're not gonna miss out. Not. You're not gonna feel like I wasted my money. Like you are going to enjoy yourself from start to finish. And especially like my boy Ed said, if you have any history with playing the games and enjoying playing the games and playing them with your friends or your family or by yourself, you are going to, like, you cannot help but enjoy this movie. Yeah. Not one person with me. I went with 3 of my best friends and his girlfriend, and nobody gave it less than a 9. Not one. And these are some hard critics. Like, these people can be hard to please. Mm-hmm. And not one person gave it less than 9. Everybody was 9 or higher, just like you and me. Like, and I couldn't possibly give it less than a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, and I totally, fully support a 9.8 because I could have easily ranked it higher than I did, but I wanted to leave a little bit of gap in there because I really cherished that 10 spot. And I'm really waiting for something to really blow me away. Yeah. You know, so far this year, you know, well, actually, it's going into last year, but like the last movies I've given a 9 out of 10 were I gave Batman a 9 out of 10 with Batman because
was. I just love the different perspective they gave. Like it was nice at how they wrote it, as in like everybody has bad days.
Yeah.
Like everybody, you're not up all the time. Like Batman isn't up all the time. Sometimes he get beat up, you know, and I like how they showed the bruises.
Yeah.
I think this probably was the most realistic Batman.
100%. The most gritty, the most like realistic.
Yeah.
You know, they actually depicted the Riddler as an actual serial killer. He wasn't some goofy villain.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm all about my goofy villains and like being like very comic book and stuff, but this was a realistic movie. Like that Riddler could be a person in real life doing that to people. And there have been people very similar, like the Zodiac Killer, and people over the history that have done just what they had this dude doing in the movie, and that made it so realistic. Like you said, most realistic Batman by far, like nothing else. And don't get me wrong, like all Christopher Nolan fans are gonna be out there being real mad we're saying this. Those were great movies, but they didn't touch the realistic factor, the really grittiness and being grounded in like a just very similar like Mario, where a human story that you can relate to, like something you can actually like understand and not feel like this is out of the scope of reality, where you're like, oh well, this would never happen, even though it's enjoyable. Like, you know, there ain't gonna be a Thanos alien that comes down if I'm taking half of y'all. And I love Marvel, and we will get into that later, but like that's not a realistic storyline. But a serial killer who is going out and taking out like people in the city and people that are in positions of power.
Yeah.
Oh, that could easily happen.
You could look that up right now.
Yeah.
It'll be thousands.
Yeah, like so many people that have done very similar things. And so that was one of the recent ones. And then I was, it'll come to me later, but we will have more movies for you guys that we're going to be checking out, and we'll be coming. You know what? I really want to see Guardians 3 and come back with you guys. Like,
definitely going to see that. I'm definitely going, because I've been hearing nothing but good reviews.
Me too.
So, and I'm hearing like high 9.
Yes, I agree.
So
that's what I've heard too. And did not our coworker, shout out to Omar, did he not just tell us like last week, phenomenal movie, and he gave it a 9.7 out of 10. 9.7. That is up there, y'all.
Yeah.
And I just had a friend of mine tell me yesterday who saw it that he gave it a solid 9.2. Like, and so we're talking high 9s.
High 9.
Like that's not a low number in the slightest. Like, I'm very, very, very excited to see this. Is supposed to be the last installment of this group of Guardians.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely gotta go see it for sure.
Yeah, this is a theater. I will say stamp, like, go to the theater on this one. Like, this is for Super Mario and Guardians. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's a must. Like, just based on the fact that this is definitely, no spoilers, but a couple of the characters the actors said they're not coming back. So for sure, even if Guardians comes back again,
it'll be different.
It'll be different.
Oh man, I hope that it don't end bad. Like what's the Fantastic Four?
Oh gosh, no, please.
I'd rather them just stop it. That, like, just kill it, bro.
Yeah,
just let it go with a successful 3.
Yes,
please don't try to remake it, because Fantastic Four, it just. If you hear about that remake of Fantastic Four, it's nothing good. Nothing good.
Never anything good. That's one of those busts, those movies that busted hard. And I couldn't agree more. Like, for the characters that want to stay, continue to use them as themselves. Bring them into like the when Marvel likes to bring the Coleman, like an Infinity War type, where maybe we'll still use some of these characters, but don't recast and redo the Guardians themselves, because this trilogy, even though I haven't seen the first 2 were great movies, really good movies, and I really think the casting is damn near perfect with all of these characters. Don't go and try to redo it. Just let them have their moment and be done with it, and continue to use the characters you do have, but don't try to recast and redo the characters you're not going to have anymore. Because I know for sure that 2 of the actors, and I won't say any spoilers, but 2 of the actors aren't coming back. And so that's already 2 of the main cast of the Guardians that aren't going to come back.
Right.
And so, I don't know what they have planned for them in the 3rd movie and what's going to happen. But if they are done, leave them done and let that character just be as it is. And you can come back and watch them be great in all of these projects. Not only the Guardians, but they were great in Endgame. They were great in Infinity War.
Yeah.
And the holiday special is also phenomenal. Did you check out the holiday special? No. On Disney Plus? Oh, before you watch, to my boy Ed and to all of you out there, if you have not seen the holiday special for Guardians before the 3rd movie, you must watch it.
Okay.
In fact, you should even try. You and Genesis should watch it before you go see the movie. Okay. I think it'll hit even that much harder.
Okay.
And it actually has very important parts in the story for a couple of them. Like that, they really did further the story, even in just an hour. It's just an hour.
Okay.
It's available on Disney Plus to watch right now. Amazing. I'm gonna
definitely check it out.
And amazing, even if it is Christmas themed because it came out in December, but you can watch it anytime and enjoy it. It's not gonna be like, oh, this is only a Christmas time thing. It's an anytime thing. It's very, very good, and it really does add a little twist, a little good twist going into this last movie. And I think that if you were to go into the movie without watching it, you could be a little confused. Because I guarantee you they're going to mention what happens in the holiday special, and then you'll be like, wait, what? Like, did I miss something, or do I not remember something?
Right.
And that'll be the missing piece, is just because of the holiday special. So for all of you out there who haven't seen it, definitely check this out as soon as you can, because you're not going to regret it. That alone, I would give a 9.3 out of 10.
Ooh,
9.3.
Okay.
I
I'm gonna watch that soon. I'm gonna definitely watch that.
Yep.
For sure.
Thoroughly impressed by it. So impressed by it, in fact. And James Gunn, who directed the first two movies, not only are the characters not the actors not playing the characters anymore, but he's not gonna. He's done.
That changes that. That's gonna be a whole different vibe then, because the director is like, that's the tempo and the pace and like
absolutely. So like the Guardians moving forward, unfortunately, are going to be very, very different. No matter what happens, like it is going to not be the Guardians we know now. So that is why I'm gonna appreciate this third movie to get to see this one last time with this collective actors, directors, all of that coming together, because James Gunn is actually going over to DC. He's the head of DC now, and so he's going to be running DC.
Might actually be lit.
Yeah, I think so.
I
think so. I think
come back for DC.
And I hope bring some, you know what? Iron sharpens iron. So if you give some pressure to Marvel, I think Marvel's been kind of sliding with their last few projects.
Doctor Strange.
Like, yes.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard so much bad about it. Like,
very, like, Doctor Strange, that one was a little bit like iffy, and then I haven't seen Ant-Man yet because I've also heard like some very up and down reviews.
I heard it's okay.
Like, yeah, and I feel like they're kind of slipping, and we need DC to kind of pick up the pace so that Marvel isn't the only. Because hey, when you're the top and there's no one else to challenge you, you're gonna slip a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think my prime example I always use is out here, at least in Southern California, Spectrum is the only Wi-Fi and internet, and they are trash. And the reason they are so trash is because they don't have any competition.
Yeah.
Nobody to come in and be like, hey, why don't you move over to this provider, and we're cheaper and we're better, and make them actually have to be decent. And they don't have to be decent at all because they're the only internet provider out here. And that is my example of what Marvel is, like what DC needs to do to Marvel. They need to push them a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And also, kind of getting tired of Batman being the only. Like, Batman, his back is hurting right now, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Like, man, give that man a break. He got to go somewhere. We got to come with a dope Flash movie. And it's a Flash movie that's coming out.
In June.
Don't know how it's going to be, though.
Yep.
You never know. Previews does what preview do. Make you want to go see it, but you never know until you actually go see it. So, I hope it's actually good, because I would like for them to expand a little bit. So, it's like, we ain't only got Batman, bro. We got Aquaman. We got Flash. We got another dope Superman. So, it'd be nice if they could get a variety like Marvel, and then Marvel gonna see that like, oh, they don't just got Batman no more. Well, they gonna be like, all right, it's time to get back in the lab or something like that. So, yeah, I'm hoping that's what happened with him. So, it makes things a little interesting now, because now I'm eager to see like what he direct, what he come with.
Yeah.
So,
and like you can go out right now and you can James Gunn actually released a little snippet of all of what's coming, and they have a lot in the works. I mean, a lot. Like, I was kind of like shocked at how much he's already got cooking down the pipe. So like, he's not playing around. Like, I feel like he's really trying to reintroduce DC and introduce these characters, because one thing Marvel has just been the GOAT at is being able to introduce so many characters, but be able to tell these really intriguing and fun stories.
Like Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Cool.
And the Guardians. Like, no one... And I'm the biggest nerd of all, and I had no idea about the Guardians of the Galaxy before the movie came out. I had no clue. And now I'm a huge fan. And then, we're talking about characters like Ant-Man or Black Panther, like really dipping into their history and bringing out great stories and putting out really good movies, like may he rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, like amazing like choice for Black Panther, and like and his story being continued in Wakanda Forever, like really cool. And I think DC really needs to focus on, like you said, like Batman's carrying all the weight. Now get us some, like, DC also has a plethora, an encyclopedia of amazing characters. Let's see them, but let's not just see them half-assed. Like, let's see them done right.
A Robin movie, bro. Nice.
In fact, the fact that there is not a Robin in the DCU is shame Shame on DCU.
That's kind of crazy.
Like, it's ridiculous they don't have a Robin, like, and that they haven't done anything with Robin, like, because personally, like, Robin's my favorite DC character because he becomes Nightwing, which is actually my favorite DC character, but they are one and the same. They are the same person. And they have done nothing with that. Not Christopher Nolan, not freaking any of the solo movies before DC was formed, and not since. And we have yet to do any. And he's one of the main characters, like one in at least in the Batman universe, he is one of the main characters. And we have seen nothing. And the only thing you can go to is Titans, which is on HBO.
Yeah.
And that show has also been like very up and down. I watched the first season. I wasn't super impressed. Haven't gone back yet.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think they're really lacking. And like they have the stuff to do it. They have the characters, and they're just not doing it. And you need you need the side characters as much as you need the big bangers like Superman and Batman.
It's like Batman is like a superhero. When you talk about like 1-2 punch, bro, that's like the Mike and Scotty right there.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that's like them leaving Scotty out of The Last Dance.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, bro, how has there not been a dope Batman and Robin movie? Like
how? And how cool that would be.
That would be so done right. That could be one of the coldest movies.
It really could be. It really could be.
Like the little Robin like side story, and he works his way up, then somehow runs. Like that would that would be so cold, man. Like DC has a lot of potential. You just need execution, and hopefully, with him going over there, that's the little execution they was eating. Hey, it could get interesting in the superhero movies, like the battle between Marvel and DC.
I couldn't have said it better. I really couldn't have said that better. I think you're right. Execution is all they need, and they really they really need to like look at it and take their time. Marvel took their time to build these storylines. Take your time and do it right. Because what's the point of coming out with 4 or 5 movies in the year if they're all trash?
You just wasted your money.
Yeah. I'd rather them come out with a movie or 2 each year and it be bangers and give us something to really look forward to going into their next phases of the years to come and what characters they're going to introduce and stuff. Like, take your time, do it right, bring up these side characters, and I think they could really be cooking with something because there's no doubt that DC has just an encyclopedia of these amazing stories to tell. You just got to be willing to do it right, and you got to be willing to execute on these things. And so make sure you go look up James Gunn's slate of DC projects, because there are some really cool ones on there that he's working on, and it does touch on some of the things that Ed and I are talking about, on some characters that even I was like, oh, I didn't even know this character was in DC,
right? And
I've never heard of this character before. So he is kind of delving deep and finding these characters that I think he thinks could be a good story to tell, and I'm excited. I like James Gunn. I think he's done great in Marvel. I think he's done great movies overall.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see, like, hopefully the next step, like DC taking the next step and really like becoming a force, you know.
That's it.
All right, well, I think that's going to be it for this week, y'all. Thank you once again for coming in and having fun with us. Once again, my name is Jeff, and this is my boy. Yes, sir. And, don't forget to hit that subscribe down below.
Like it, share it.
Yes, sir. And we will have Rudy back next week, and we'll have some more fun with y'all out there. Thank you, guys, and take care.